Is performance anxiety controlling your life and letting you not get to the place that you want to be and know where you absolutely can be? Well, today I'm going to show you a 2 or maybe even a 3-step process that you can use to melt performance anxiety away in minutes and get you to be and perform at the level you desire. What's up, team? It's Dave Mykel, your head coach at PSYFI, and we're going to wrap this performance anxiety kind of tutorial up because I've had 2 other videos. If you haven't checked those out, check those out too. This is going to combine those 2 videos into one of the strongest protocols that I've ever come across and ever developed for my athletes and for my executives to literally get rid of performance anxiety in as little as 5 minutes. And if you've had performance anxiety before, you know 5 minutes is actually pretty damn fast because that anxiety can last for hours, sometimes days, and then we ruminate on it for weeks. So if you're like me and like a lot of my clients, this happens. Why? Because we're constantly pushing ourselves forward. We're constantly trying to find those edges. We're constantly trying to work hard and become those superhumans that we know we can be. But performance anxiety gets in the way. So what are you gonna do? First, we're going to do a breathing technique, then we're going to do a brain technique, and then we're going to do a breathing technique again because that's going to be bringing the body and the brain and the breath all together. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to do the protocol I talked about before is that breathing protocol. I like to call it the Huberman protocol. You're going to take a double inhale through the nose with an audible exhale out of your mouth. Now remember, when you do this, it has to be a double inhale into the belly, then one into the chest, and then when you exhale, it has to be audible. Why? You need to feel it in the back of your throat. You got to feel that vibration because if you don't, you're not increasing your vagal tone. And the more you increase your vagal tone, the more you're able to deal with stress. This is why things like chanting and prayer and singing have worked so long in religions, literally for thousands of years. So here's what you're going to do. I'm going to show you how to do it, and then we're going to do it together. It's going to be a double inhale. A double inhale. Now notice, I add a little bit to that as well. So when I'm taking that inhale, your posture has to be aligned. It has to be neutral, a nice neutral spine. Your chest is proud. Your shoulders are back and down. Why? Because if you collapse that airway, the next thing you know is your amygdala is going to turn on because it's going to think you're breathing improperly. And we know that when we breathe improperly, especially when we're stressed, shallow breathing and rapid breathing, our amygdala is going to turn on and then you're done. Your performance anxiety is not going to do this. It's going to do this. So as you're breathing like that, make sure your spine is neutral. You're sitting with your chest proud, your shoulders back and down. What I like to do on the other side of this to really enhance this is on the exhale. What you're going to do is you're going to let everything kind of fold in into a sense of safety. So I'm going to let my shoulders come in a little bit. I'm going to relax a little. My head's going to come down slightly. My eyes are slightly going to close, indicating that to my brain and my body that everything is okay, that I am safe and the amygdala does not need to be on. This performance anxiety does not need to be there. So just like medication, because it is that powerful, it's a minimum effective dose of 5 breaths. So you're gonna do this first because our first line of defense against anxiety, against worry, against any non-optimal emotions and behaviors is our breath because we can control it. So it's a double inhale. Let's do 4 more together. 2 more. Last one. Now you notice that you are much calmer now than you were 5 breaths ago. That's going to take you about 2 minutes. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to activate that reticular activating system, the RAS. Remember, the RAS is another set of neural pathways that run down the front of the spine that literally connect the brain and the body, or in our case is the brain and the gut. So what you want to do is you want to program that thing, because if you're not programming it, it's programming you. If you're experiencing performance anxiety, most likely this thing is focusing on all the negative outcomes that either have happened in your life or you think are about to happen. Hello, anxiety is fear of the future. So if that thing is taking over, it's literally guiding your brain to all the negative stuff that you do not want to happen. Your anxiety is going to ramp up. So what we like to do instead is we're going to use what we call the RAS, the remind, ask, and say technique for our mindset. 1, you got to remind yourself, you are not anxious, you're excited. Functional MRI research and technology has shown us that if you put someone who's anxious and someone who's excited next to each other in a functional MRI, there is no difference physiologically speaking. From the neck down, it's all the same. The only difference is in our brain and how we're interpreting this thing. So you need to remind yourself, I'm not anxious, I'm excited. Then we go on to the A. You have to ask, why am I excited? Well, the number one reason, and 99% of the time, is you're excited because you care for what you're about to do. You've put hard work in, you've dedicated time and resources and energy, and the thing that you're about to do, how you're about to perform, the conversation you're about to have means something to you. That brings you to the third part of this is the S is say. You have to say why it means something to you. This is going to be very individualistic because when you ask, why am I excited? Because I care. Well, why do I care? Why does this mean something to me? That's very individualistic. So think about this. If it's something that you're working on, whether it's a big presentation or you're dropping in on a new line or competing in a sport, you probably care for the simple reason that you spent a lot of time and energy and resources getting ready for this and you want to perform. You want your outcome to match your inputs. I've worked this hard, therefore I want this outcome to be that good. Maybe you want to impress people. Maybe you want to get people proud of you, maybe your friends or your family, be proud of you of all the hard work and show them up on stage how great you are. Maybe you want to deliver this message to these people because you care about them and you really want this to resonate because you know this is going to help. Or maybe it's a conversation that you're going to have, a difficult conversation with a loved one, and you care about this person, you care about the relationship. That's why you care. So you have to remind yourself using the RAS. Remind, I'm not anxious, I'm excited. Ask, why am I excited? Because I care. Say, why I care is because of blank. Now, if there's still a little bit more anxiety left in your system, this is where you can bring back the breathing protocol. So we kind of sandwich this all together to be about a 5-minute thing. So you're gonna do your breathing again. Remember, it's 5 minimally effective doses of breath in through the nose, out through the mouth, spine neutral and tall to start, and then let everything kind of come in as you finish. I'll give one more demonstration of that. And let it go. You take this 3-step process over about approximately 5 minutes, and I guarantee you are going to watch your performance anxiety melt away almost instantly. This is not going to be something you're going to need to overcome. You're going to start performing better. You're going to start feeling better. You're going to start looking better in front of others, and you're going to start becoming the sci-fi superhuman that you want. So team, go out there. Remember, it's only 5 minutes to get rid of all the performance anxiety you've ever had. This is the best protocol I've ever come across. The number one thing I teach all my executives and athletes, and now that power is in your hands.